I'm very happy now to be joined by Simeen Brown, who is the Vice President of Historic Salem in Salem, Massachusetts. And Simeen, welcome to MSO.
Thank you.
You
Thanks
know,
for having me.
I see Kate Brown from Destination Salem, Kate Fox from Destination Salem quite a bit. And, you know, we talk haunted happenings almost all year round. But when I saw this come up on one of the promotions on the Salem, the City of Salem website, it referred me to Christmas in Salem, and that's where I want to begin. Tell me a little bit, please, if you would, please, about historic Salem, and then about the Christmas in Salem thing that you're involved with.
Okay, great. Historic Salem Inc. is an organization in Salem to help preserve and worry about preservation of the city's landmarks and the help with make sure that new development complements the historic character of the city, and to make sure that Salem stays, Salem, and with its historic resources of all kinds, the parks, the houses, the buildings, and make sure that the mission also is to help keep quality of life in Salem and its economic vitality as well, preserved for future generations. So,
how did you get involved with historic Salem? What's your background?
My background, I'm a graphic designer, and so my background is that, but I do have an old house and I love houses. So that's kind of my obsession with architecture is what got me involved with Historic Salem Inc. because I'm obsessed with looking at houses, talking about houses, going into people's houses. I'm obsessed with houses.
We have such an incredible variety and diversity. I'm thinking the image that just came to mind was Strawberry Bank. I think it's up in Portsmouth, but all over the North Shore and here in Salem in particular. I don't know, probably structures going back to the 1500s or 1600s. And so I can see where you might have a little bit of fun scoping that stuff out. And still, there's everything. Is there from, as I said, 400 years old to now?
Yeah. And that is brings us to the point of Christmas in Salem.
Mm-hmm.
So Christmas in Salem is in its 41st year. So it's been going for 40 years. And we don't have proof of this, but it's rumored to be the oldest personal home tour in the country, where people go into people's homes, and they've been doing it for 40 years. It didn't start out as being the fundraiser for Historic Salem Inc. I think it was, it had several different iterations of who was in charge of it, but it's been a really long time that Historic Salem Inc. has been the organization behind Christmas in Salem, and it is our annual fundraiser for our organization to help fund programs and our expenses and everything.
How do you
find
our
operations and things?
How do you find the houses for that, or who gets involved with it, and how does the tour work when the country's open?
So normally what happens is we designate a neighborhood where we're going to have the tour. And then we go several different ways. We ask around, hey, do you know anybody in this neighborhood that would be willing? And I also have been known to cold call. I'll be like, that's a gorgeous house. Wow. And so I'll ding dong their door and be like, would you be willing to be on the tour? So we do a lot of different things to try to get interest. And with a normal Christmas in Salem, you have to be a bit of an extrovert because you're going to have up to 2,000 people traipsing through your home in one weekend.
Whoa.
And a lot of, people are really private. They're like, no way. And we generally don't go through the whole house. We just tour the public rooms, like the living room, dining room, kitchen, and then out the back door. We have to have 2 egresses with normal Christmas in Salem because we have to get through the house with all these people. We can't just have them like stuck in a room and then they have to go back out the same way they came in. So we have to have a way in and a way out. So it does limit us as well to what rooms we can view with normal Christmas in Salem. And then we also pick one neighborhood so that people can walk from house to house. It's like a walking tour. We have a trolley that also will take people if they have difficulty walking, but there's and if they want to go downtown to eat dinner and then come back to
Yeah.
the neighborhood. But yeah, but generally it's just really close houses so people can kind of wander between houses.
I've got all kinds of images conjuring in my head here. I can imagine some of the responses you've gotten, but
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, some people are like, I haven't had anyone be rude, but people are like, yeah, let me ask my spouse or significant other, and then they're like, they said no way.
okay. Now let's
So
have
you have to
2,000
have
people.
everyone that lives in the house on board, right?
Yeah. Yeah, let's have 2,000 people in the house over the weekend. Yeah. Gonna buy a lot of hamburgers. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So
But
that's
that sounds cool. And this what's the reaction you get from visitors who do this? I mean, they must be out of towners, I'm guessing, for the most part. Most of the
no,
time.
actually, there are a lot of people that have been coming for maybe probably the 40 years, and they love it. It's for people who love inside of houses and love to see other people's houses, house foyers or whatever, and also people who are interested in history, because we
Right.
try to talk about the houses when you go through. So in each room, someone will talk about objects in the house and the history of the house, but also it's for people who like decorations, because we have florists and decorators who decorate the houses for Christmas. So that's what generally happens. And the houses, look really gussied up. And we don't just limit it to Christmas. We've celebrated all kinds of holiday decor. You don't have to celebrate Christmas to be on the tour. It's just, we don't want to change the name since it's so historic. It's 40-year-old tour.
Mhm.
But we've had other kinds of winter celebrations going on. So the decorations can be very different depending on the style of the decorator and the homeowner.
It sounds really cool and really, dare I say it, homey. But
Yeah,
sorry about that. So well,
it
yeah,
is.
so with the COVID thing now,
Yeah,
it's bringing
now
up
we get the
new
COVID thing.
ideas. Yeah, and I'm guessing. Did I read that you're still going to try to do that, but it'll be virtual, and you're going to actually bring that now into Halloween, that concept?
Yeah, so we started thinking about it in the spring, which we usually do. We start thinking about Christmas in Salem and which neighborhood we're going to have it in, and whose houses I'm going to doorbell, to try to see if they'll be on. And when we started talking this spring, people were really worried. We didn't know what was going to happen. And we kind of held off a little bit to see the direction that COVID-19 would take. And in the summer, we had to make an executive decision. It was like, we have to decide what we're going to do now. And we thought, we usually go around in the summer asking people, will you let people come in your home, around 2,000 people in one weekend? And we thought, there's no way I don't even feel good about going up to anyone's house and saying, will you let 2,000 people through your home? It feels very irresponsible to be doing that this summer. So we thought we've got to zag instead of zig. We've got to zag, and we got to do it quickly. And so we decided, let's have a virtual Christmas in Salem and tour the homes. We'll get someone we didn't know how we were going to get them filmed. And we had a lot of different ideas of how to do that, going back and forth from just everyone uses their iPhone. And an amazing videographer stepped in who's shooting it. And I want to get the name of the company right. Wilco. Okay, I'm going to find that and I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But he's shooting the footage, which is amazing. And it looks amazing. It's way better than we had ever expected. So we're really thrilled about that. And, but we were like, what should we do about, like having people in the houses? So we did go around and ask people, can we come in your house? And it'll just be a videographer and a couple of other people. And people were okay with that. So while we were doing this planning process, someone said, well, why don't we do something for Halloween? And the reason we've never touched Halloween before is because there's so many things going on in Salem for Halloween, and we didn't want to step on anyone's toes or, be in a sea of Halloween stuff. And so we've never even thought about Halloween. We just thought it's white noise if we did something during Halloween. But we thought, hey, this is something that there are going to be people all around the country who are going to be stuck home for Halloween. And Salem's kind of famous for whatever reason for Halloween. So maybe we can give people all over the country something Halloween to do. And so we decided to do half Halloween and then then also Christmas has turned into 2 full-blown events. I don't know. But we had to do something because we need to have this fundraiser to operate Historic Salem Inc. So it's not like we thought, ooh, this will be like a fun thing to do. We're like, we need to do something, right? So it's a new thing that we've never done. We're, you know, like just trying it out, and we'll let you know how it goes, you know, after it's over. But so far, the Halloween, the video footage looks amazing. The houses were amazing, and we're thinking it's going to be a different crowd than the Christmas in Salem. Maybe we can get some younger people and more international people, because Salem is a little famous for.
So is this in the can now? Is it in production now? Is that the idea? And then people will visit these that have already been shot and so on.
It's in production right now, and the date that our houses will go live is Friday, October 9th.
Okay.
And so we're getting the website up and running and everything, and you can go to halloweeninsalem.org and you can register to have information sent to you once the link is live. Then there's a paywall. You pay $13.13. Then you can go and view. We're trying to make it fun. It's fun, you know. Yeah. It's not as serious. Christmas in Salem is more serious, and you know, more like you're saying, homey. Halloween in Salem is kind of like, you know, kind of funny. And so, but still the homes are really beautiful and very interesting decorations, and it's still very fun and very, you know, fun to do. And
I think I read in the Salem News, you have a character, someone in costume who also is part of that.
We do. Bora Brewington Snaggletooth the 13th is our tour guide, and they're a witch that stands in downtown Salem, so a lot of residents know them, and they're also a wedding, they also do weddings. So Bora is going to take you through the houses. So usually with Christmas in Salem, we have a different tour guide standing in each room, and they talk about the room when you go in it. And so we have a kind of a very, very humorous character who's going to be your tour guide for Halloween in Salem. So this is going to be, it's hilarious. The footage I've seen is so funny. It's
okay.
Hilarious.
Now, so where this is Halloween themed, are these necessarily historic homes, or they're just?
They are. They are all historic homes. We have some historic homes that are also museums. So and that's it's kind of the interesting thing. Like, we're still Historic Salem Inc., right? But it's just kind of a funny front. But we're still going through amazing historic homes, and they're still talking about, you know, the cornices and and the, you know, like the great pottery from their aunt so-and-so, while the house is, you know, blacklit or whatever. So it's a very interesting combination of beautiful, fun, different kinds of Halloween decorations, but also historic details and things.
You're having too much fun with this right now. I mean, you got to get more serious about this.
I can't wait for everyone to see the video footage, because it is really amazing.
Well, you made a great point in terms of being available for people everywhere, because people from everywhere ordinarily go to Salem at the end of September right on through October, and that's going to be very much curtailed. So this is a great way for people to safely have some fun, as you say, and learn a little bit as well. Now, when does this whole thing get started? When does it go live? Was it October 9th?
October 9th is when it goes live. And the great thing about it, so with real Halloween, with real Christmas in Salem, we're limited to a neighborhood, and we are limited to people who are willing to let 2,000 people go through their home. And we have to have egresses, and, you know, like someone has to have all that space that they go through cleaned up with their junk out of it or whatever. Mm-hmm. Actually, every house that we've been to has been fabulous anyway. But in theory, you could just have parts of your home filmed, because we're not limited to flow, you know, like we could just do a living room, you know. But so far, all the private homes that we've been in have been fabulous in every single room. So, but we're not limited to that, and we're also not limited to neighborhoods. So it's going to be different places all over Salem.
So have you figured out a way to get us snacks and drinks and so on Or do we got to supply those for our own self, right?
That's a downside. You're gonna have to supply your own snacks, but we
Okay.
never supply snacks anyway, so that's
Oh,
this is
something to
fine.
think about. It's a fundraiser. Just saying.
I know. We often have for Christmas in Salem. If you want to know more about that,
Yeah.
that's still in the making. Halloween in Salem is just the video tour, but Christmas in Salem will have other things as well. Video, it will be virtual, but it'll have other offerings besides just touring some homes. So Halloween in Salem is pretty, we're finishing up production right now. And then Christmas in Salem will be a little bit later, that is going to go live. So, but we'll be live all of October. So people don't have to be limited to one weekend, like with traditional Christmas in Salem. So they could come to Halloween in Salem whenever they want, during the month of October and beyond. It'll still be there. They are too busy in October. Or they love Halloween so much they want to go in November. That's fine too.
There you go. This sounds like a germ of an idea that's really going to grow in the future, but it looks terrific right now.
Everyone that we've filmed their house, they're like, "Are you going to do this every year?" Or some people they've called us. "We heard you filmed so and so's house. Can you film ours?" And we're like, "Actually, we can't right now. We don't have the time." And so maybe next year if it goes well, but we'll see. So, but this year, I've got the correct name. It's Wilco Media, and that's the videographer who's donating his time. So this year, one of the things, because it is our fundraiser and we don't know what everything is going to be like, we have a lot of expenses for Christmas in Salem. We, usually have people, decorators and florists that are paid to decorate the homes. And we have the trolley that runs. We have a lot of expenses that are associated with it, knowing what kind of money we can get back from it. But because we have no idea what's going to happen this year and how it's going to go, we asked everyone to do this for free. So Bora is doing this for free, and the videographer is doing this for free. The media company is doing this for free, and all the homeowners are decorating themselves with their own money for free. And so I'm really grateful to everyone who got the spirit of the season and is helping us out.
Well, I love really that, but you're missing a few other holidays too. You can consider Valentine's Day, and maybe Patriots Day. So this thing could blossom and take off.
Oh, gee. Hopefully there's someone else to help run that.
There you go. But Simeen, is there anything else you want to mention about either of the two projects or Historic Salem in general?
No, just that we really appreciate your support, and we're so grateful to everyone who's been so enthusiastic and willing, like, for example, you, to listen to what we are doing and to support us and to come and see Halloween in Salem or Christmas in Salem or both.